kakra na omebisa de omo hwehwe animu aban honom no omo etimi de ayemu hwehwe mu
anesefo ane midwife wona nke senne womo Asia Parliament Select Committee on Health na yechese etu e de akɔhye July bosom no ne da etos edu omchese ahawo pa
na okopie mu ewo emfinfi mantemu a sedie ensuo to wo hodom a eniema esei no ama ye de kokobo akwa amade hye wo hodom se ensu tobre mu ide omonya hwe yie pa
for we can sema hodo ayesinkunya ye de eba besom mu anwumre yi akenkanfo ye me David ofori safo menemi nyaba
abana bayi nyano
afeyebo era ensem no emo Ghana Mampeni Abidiechi, Her Excellency Professor J. Nana Opoku Ajeman, Eda Tuja Achese Ebredu se Oman Ghana, and afeye international partners inano Yabeka Bomu na Inumeku ewo memu amo eboa akwantia ndubone nonom ene hu dwadie no yetimi esoma sene sikasem afemu.
The evidence is clear. Invest in prevention. We do this to highlight how prevention reduces harm and promotes more resilient societies. The theme reminds us that we share a responsibility to create a world that is free of drugs. We have made significant gains in the fight against conventional narcotic drugs such as cocaine, heroin, cannabis, through demand and supply interventions. Today, we face a more complex challenge as drug trafficking and organized crime syndicates have shifted to include synthetic opioids. Ghana is investing in practical preventative solutions to address the root causes of substance abuse. Permit me, therefore, to commend the Narcotics Control Commission for their dedication. Their recent operations, both independent and with international partners, have resulted in the seizure of large volumes of illicit substances and dismantled criminal syndicates. And this has happened in Ghana, West Africa, and in Europe. The destruction of over 16 metric tons of seized drugs just last week is proof that we are active in this fight. Every gram destroyed is potentially a life saved. Let us support the Commission and its allied institutions by providing the tools, the training, the resources necessary to stay ahead of these evolving threats. While we pursue traffickers and disrupt their networks, we must not neglect the individuals and communities who suffer the consequences of addiction.
Ghanaians are definitely neither helpless, bystanders, nor are we powerless. Here in Ghana, we, the Narcotics Control Commission, is strong in collaborating with our national security institutions and valued international partners, continue to lead a fierce and focused campaign against illicit drugs. Through tactical border control, intelligence-driven interdictions, the pursuit of strict prosecutions, and the confiscation of criminal assets, we are indeed dismantling networks and sending a clear message that our homeland Ghana is not a safe haven for drug traffickers. As we take cognizance of the objectives we have set for ourselves today as Ghanaians, we must also appreciate that law enforcement alone is not enough. We have placed prevention at the core of our activities. In the last weeks, we have conducted a nationwide drug destruction exercise that led to the Commission destroying about 17 metric tons of illicit drugs. This was not just an operation, but a vehement declaration of our stance that Ghana will not tolerate poisoning of its people.
Has devastated families, broken communities, and shattered the hopes and ambitions of generations. Nonetheless, it is a challenge that we can overcome together should we hit the core. It is my fervent wish that The occasion of World Drug Day will remind us to say no to illicit drugs at all times.
Ene Parliamentary Select Committee bana pomudensem so a omo edano ene Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association for ediasia ene omo kasa efa ebisade a omo ediato abino enim na omo sire omo se omo mre kakra isanse sese no omo ebisade no omo atete so kakra ediama aban nene omo ne mpanyifo hia ye ne mpanyifo de ato omo enim se omo behia mre kakra na omo de apensen mu.
On the 12th of June 2025, the Select Committee of Parliament called a meeting to discuss the ongoing strike by Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association of Ghana. In attendance were the Nurses Association, the Ministry of Health, led by the Minister himself, the Ministry of Finance, led by the Deputy Minister, and the Director of Fair Wages Commission. At the end of the meeting, the nurses reduced their demands to 4. Payment of 8% on basic allowance to all nurses, fuel allowance, which they estimated will apply to 5,300 nurses of a certain category, uniform allowance increased from 400 Ghana cedis to 1,000 Ghana cedis, and the fourth one being research and book allowance, also to be paid to a certain category of nurses. They estimated the number to be about 900. At the end of the meeting, the Ministry of Finance requested for some time to study their demands and carry out an economic and financial impact analysis and report back. It is within this context that a meeting was rescheduled for 2 weeks. That is today, the 26th of June 2025. As we speak now, the demands of the nurses have been converted into monetary terms, and there's a need for a preliminary meeting between the Ministry of Health, the Health Committee, and the Ministry of Finance to discuss the outcome of the analysis. However, the Minister of Health and the Minister of Finance, they are unavoidably absent from the jurisdiction. The committee therefore thought it prudent to inform the Nurses Association of the above development. I want to use this opportunity to reassure the nurses that the Health Committee, their own committee, and for that matter, Parliament, will continue to advocate for them. We are their representatives, and we represent them. We also represent the patients and all other citizens of Ghana. We will continue to work in our collective interests.
Egusua ewo Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association kuno openi awda no eye perpetual ofori ampofo ochese ekui omadi yawpa science na nkese ne omukomra shibdwa no mu Select Committee on Health na so sanhiem die no antumi amaso mpeni hodo makose July 10 omuchese ahawmupa
Rainya krata every parliamentary services na asama wakache ne say our meeting na in said 27th of June 2025. The name Parliamentary Select Committee on Health. Besa Konya Pitambi, Nova Katre and say, Niomana Mokano, and Shishaya, ya 2 million. Right in Krata says our meeting, Emma, 27th of June. na emom no omo tu aheda akakoshe 10th July 2025 na no the National Council of the Association no meeting na no yabobo ho ama ene no yafrɛ mo sɛ ensɛm bi da yakoma so a yɛpɛsɛ yɛka kyerɛ mo na nsɛm a yɛka ne sɛ yɛ strike na yɛkɔɔ no yɛ suspended yɛn calling off enti no ɛsensɛn hɔ ɛkonkɔn hɔ a sɛ yɛka sɛ no yɛ entire fraternity of nurses and midwives ɔmo hwɛ yɛni sɛ bibia kwebi ya yɛbɛtumi aka bibi papa akyerɛ ɔmo ɛfa collective agreement na yɛ nyinaa yɛhwɛ yɛnim sɛ yɛbɛ implement no enti ama meeting na yɛntu abakɔhyɛ 10 July no ɛha yɛ bebree ɛsan sɛ ɛbɛma yɛ collective agreement no sɛ yɛsi mu no atwentwɛn still delayed na mmom no deɛ yɛka ne sɛ July 2025 yɛhwɛ nim sɛ nneɔma ɛnan na meeting na yɛyɛ on 12 June 2025 na nneɔma ɛnan na yɛde to yɛ employers n'anim no ɔmo bɛhwɛ sɛ yɛ implementing in July 2025.
Oswafo a wɔhyɛ enyuma ne apɛdie so ɛyɛ onumunyafo Rashid Pelpu na ɔpanyin de ato ɛyɛ board a sese yate wɔn ɛyɛ advisory board ɛma National Pensions and Regulatory Authority sese na wɔsɔ wɔn hwɛ na pension ho nsɛnsɛm no wɔn ɛma informal sector workers no wɔn nso so etimi nyɛ mu mfasoɔ sɛ deɛ bɛyɛ a ebetimi abo wɔn daakyen na afei nso ɔsɛ ɔbɛsrɛ sɛ adwuma wɔn yɛ daa ne daadaa nyina wɔn hwɛ na wɔn bu nkontam apa ɛma adehyeɛ.
Section 7 of the National Pensions Act 2008, Act 2766 outlines your mandates clearly. 1, to ensure effective regulations and supervision of the three-tier pension scheme. 2, to promote transparency and protect the interests of contributors and beneficiaries. This includes the vital responsibility of regulating the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, our largest pension fund, to ensure accountability, efficiency, and sustainability in managing contributors' funds. I expect the board to provide strong strategic oversight and policy direction that strengthens institutional performance, builds public trust, and fosters innovation across the pension value chain. In particular, I encourage you to accelerate the expansion of the pension coverage to the informal sector, which holds a significant share of Ghana's working population and untapped pension contributors. Innovative policies and tailored products must be developed to harness and protect the hard-earned savings of informal workers.
We assume this role at a very critical time in the life of our nation's pension sector, one that calls for foresight, innovation, and commitment to the welfare and dignity of Ghanaian workers, both the formal and the informal sectors. The role of the National Pensions Regulatory Act, as enshrined in the National Pensions Act, which was mentioned by our Honorable Minister, is not only to regulate, but to also build confidence in the pension system and ensure financial security for workers in their retirement years. Together with my distinguished colleagues on the board, we pledge to provide strategic direction, just as once again the Minister mentioned, and uphold the principles of transparency and good governance, and support the authority in implementing policies and initiatives that will deepen pension coverage, drive investment growth, and then strengthen regulatory oversight. We are particularly mindful of the need to pursue scalability, agility, and culture through the enhancement of participation from the informal sector, expansion of digital infrastructure, and improvement in public education on pensions. We will work collectively with all stakeholders, government agencies, labor unions, service providers, and the private sector to realize these goals.
Kopiemu ewo mfimfin mantemu a eye atorenchem aboafo kwantrefo panyin a woda no mfimfin mantem ora Emmanuel Kwasi Dawood wone kwantrefo eba no Nadmu headquarters nso so woda no ora Richard Yate omo enenam omo hwe sede eniema siko abra ensu kese bi toye ema edan bi dwudigu adehye so no omo hwe sede tebia no siko ne kwan a ombetimi aboa adehye no na empanyifo ide kokobo akwa mfimfin mantem adehye nyina se sede we si ye na ede atorenchem ne oye ne bae no omo besere wo tete miame a ehonum eye nsuo ma nsuo to a ebetimi ayiri di asem aba no wo besere se omonya hweye na nkebe ya omumfri honum ansa
asem si no mpanyifo tena ho na wo ye nhwehwe no hu de edan bi wo a edan no wa check be 100 years and over. I 1 year maintenance bia. Inti enye ebusuafo tsena ho. Na ebusuafo gi tum de. Damadan ni nyina no wa amakwan. De aban mfane nani so na oyi mfi ho because mosi anope nnanda na asane yempede yebeti bio. Inti enye ebusua atsena ho. Na ye nyina ye ba ye nyantase de. Edan ni bi ho a wa check 1 year maintenance bia. Inti obi biara otim no kwa de sanu nti dem ma ye ba yi amafo won kwa efiesam no ode yan kase ye sheda ne fa kwan pa bido na eduju dam dan nyina edugu ho se na obi obia nkoto afi yenyim de aye bia amafo woda amafo e wona obi ne sa akwana no se wo yi market new market na wo si wa na afo no yenye assembly idinkomo na ye be using temporary shelter na fe ebusuafo wan nyama wonya baby mfongu no ezego mo bia ye safe mo bia ne property so I safe nto ne nchicha na fe mo kan wa ode ye mo bia no tonen na dum mpanyifo na assembly na omanhen e bo hwe ma ya ye mo bia wa to
our core mandate is managing undesirable fires and other emergencies and rescue purposes. Even people don't know that when bee invasion, you should call fire service. So we are everywhere, accident wherever, we are everywhere. So far as we are all under performing the same job. At the end of the day, it's Mother Ghana that we are fighting for, and a safe Ghana that is safe. We are in central region. We need central region to be safe, so that at the end of the day, Ghana will be safe. Now there is an instruction that
abusuafo ye gina hanum se ni ahome kase wono so ye ba ye de nkomotwetwe no beto aso ede amamo eye ye temuafo panyi asese yatwe sensen ne ho nsem a ama ne homene so ensentwerefo nhyiam o ye ne de amanfo kafa ho no ye kwa bana ye di ho nkomo